Well, this energy drink has several ingredients, including caffeine and ginseng. It's designed to give people a boost. But in the lawsuit, the family claims it's just too dangerous. But because of thick fog, he may not have been able to see what was in front of him. But there are some steps they're being urged to follow to avoid the accidents that take place here every summer. And they plan to start construction in the back of the building soon. It should be complete and online by the spring. Came into the store, he bought a Powerball ticket, and it turned out he had won $40 million. And continued deliberating. They did do that, and they just announced their verdict.
The clerk says it was around 10 at night when two thieves walked into the store.
Two men just come in, and when I lift my head, he pull out the gun and say, "Give me the money."
Suddenly, one of them was trying to get around behind the counter to take the money himself.
Yeah, just hit the floor like that.
Abraham Sogobus says this baseball bat helped scare the men away.
That's a pretty brave man right there, you know. Need a little more than a bat back there.
I mean, somebody tries to rob you, you got to do something.
He says at one point, one man referred to the other by name and that the gun appeared to be fake.
The point of the gun looked like the real gun, but the back was plastic, and the other one of the pistol was plastic.
You never know if it's real or what it is. You never know what people got going on in their lives.
The clerk says this all happened around closing time, and there was a customer in the store. But he says when he saw the customer making a move to help, he didn't want him to get involved.
Try to tell him like that, to back up. Like he understood. He was trying to take a bottle of soda. He was about to hit him with the bottle of soda.
Some customers say they're not sure if they would have done what Sagoba did, and they were not happy about what he went through.
It just shouldn't happen, man. They just got out here, you know, you got to let them feel comfortable, you know. You don't want to show us sitting down. They've been here for years. So, you know, it's just sad that it happened.
Every job has its own risk, you know. So when you work, you just work, and only God can protect you.
Sagoba says police came and dusted for fingerprints. Now, luckily, no one was hurt and the store is back open. Police are investigating this as an aggravated robbery. Live in Sherman, Alex Belser, KTEN News. From the stoplight at Choctaw Casino all the way to where I'm standing. That means a truck driver would have needed to slow down, but because of thick fog, he may not have been able to see what was in front of him until it was too late.
Durant resident Shelly Ash says she was in the left lane in the fog when suddenly she had to stop for vehicles in front of her, but she noticed the truck behind her wasn't stopping.
I said, "Brace yourself, he's going to hit us."
Ash says the truck switched lanes, missing her, but it collided with another tractor trailer along with a pickup and a car.
We held on, and I could see him, and he couldn't really make up his mind which way he was going to go, and then he veered towards the trucks, and he hit the truck.
Suddenly, Ash, her son, and other drivers were out of their cars trying to help those who were hurt.
We couldn't find the driver to the truck. You could see his tennis shoe, and all that was left was the passenger seat. His truck just exploded, and we couldn't find him. We looked and couldn't find him, and finally found him behind his driver's seat, which was on the ground.
Police say visibility was extremely limited by the thick fog at the time of the crash. They briefly shut down both southbound lanes as they investigated the accident.
The semi-driver didn't see the traffic backed up due to the dense fog, struck blue pickup, which knocked it into another car, and then the semi rear-ended another semi.
I ain't never seen nothing like that before, never. Yeah. I mean, the cab was totally tore up to pieces.
Ash went to the police department to report what she saw. She says she's still shaken after witnessing the driver's last moments.
I don't even know this man's name, and he saved our lives.
The truck driver who died in the crash is now identified as 39-year-old Kenneth Anders of Girard, Illinois. The driver of a gold car was taken to TMC in guarded condition, and the other driver of a pickup truck was taken to MCSO and is now listed in stable condition. Live in Durant, Alex Belser, KTEN News. Tom, things have been blooming across Texoma this spring, and now bees seem to be increasing in number. There's a certain time that homeowners often see the bees, and that's when they sometimes call for help.
Imagine seeing a birdhouse in your yard like this. Swarms, keeping a few Grayson County beekeepers busy.
Last 2 months I've got 30 swarm calls. This has been an excellent year for wild bees.
While some commercial beekeepers battle colony collapse disorder, wild bees seem to be on a roll. Unlike previous years with drought, the flowers are now out and so are the bees that pollinate them. When a queen bee leaves, the hive splits, creating the swarm.
The swarms are typically not aggressive, but you still don't want to get close to them. And if you'll wait a day or two, you'll see that they'll actually fly off and leave. They're just looking for a new site.
But what if the bees decide to make their home in yours?
If there's any kind of gap in the eave of your house, I've been getting a lot of them out of eaves this year, to where they'll crawl inside of it, and then the workers start building comb.
I would say it's increased more this year than last year or the year before.
While many people might be frightened by bees and the idea of getting stung, this beekeeper says after more than 10 years of working with them and their honey, he's learned they could be very fascinating creatures.
A queen bee can lay up to about 2,000 eggs a day. So they can go from small numbers to large numbers in a short amount of time.
The worker bees may only live a month. Still, tens of thousands of bees often make up a single hive. Randy McGill says his hobby started when he found a hive by his water meter. Now he takes bees off other people's hands.
I keep all the bees that I collect. I have bees all over Grayson County.
And beekeeping is not for everyone. Charles Adams tells us one time last season he had 30 stings at one point, and he knows because he had to pick all the stingers out of his arm. Now we've learned that skunks are one thing that eats the bees. Their fur can help protect them from the stings. Live in Sherman, Alex Belser, KTEN News.